We've got day 72. You know what?
Kuminga Watch.
It's going to take some getting used to having these different sets of buttons. Maybe I'll just make this one go away. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that one go away. Now I'm not tempted to click it anymore. All right, so we're talking about the qualifying offer and how it's not actually the end of the world for Golden State if he takes a qualifying offer because it would still hold his bird rights.
Yeah.
So they could pay him more than anyone next summer.
Yeah, so this is where, like, you got to stick with this for a sec. Like, stay with me. $7.9 million, right? It's a qualifying offer. It does a couple of things. Number one, it would keep the Warriors below the first apron.
Yes.
So that's one thing that's super appealing. They're like, I think secretly they're like, you might go ahead and play on the qualifying offer. We don't really care. That's fine. It
would explain why they're being transigent with the team option versus player option.
Yeah. So they do run a risk, right? But here's where you got to kind of stick with me for a sec. When he goes into the season, if they want to trade him, they can go to him and say, hey, look, we want to trade you to team whatever. And he has the right to say no to any team in the league. He can say no. He has a full no trade clause that only he can say, can move off of, right? If he says yes and says, go ahead and trade me to, let's just say the Kings, $7.9 million gets traded to the Kings. The second he's traded, he loses his Larry Bird rights completely.
Which limits the maximum amount of money he can make in free agency.
Well, yeah. I mean, basically, if he's traded to one of the, like they're saying there's between 10 and 11 teams that could potentially have some cap room next year, reasonable cap room. That's one thing. But if he gets traded to a team like the Kings, one of the other 20 teams out there that don't have cap space, the most they can offer him is like a raise. I think it's a 20% raise off of his contract, off this $7.9 million. So that's not enough. Or they could offer him the mid-level exception, which will probably be close to $15 million, 14.8 or something like that for next season. But they can't go above and beyond, right? So that's one avenue. If he says no and he gets all the way to the end of the season, the Warriors still have his bird rights. So now they can go back in and sign him for any contract that they want above and beyond. They can also do a sign and trade with him. And so the Warriors have value still in him, at least a little bit. Now he can bolt and say, hey, forget you guys. Like, you suck. You've messed with my career. I'm not going to help you. I'm going to leave in free agency. I'm not going to do a sign and trade. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to go. And that's a legitimate thing that he can do.
Right.
But at the same time, it might help him that he's open to all 30 teams now, the other 29 teams, as opposed to limiting the number of teams he can go to that have cap space. So it kind of creates a little bit more value for the Warriors. Now, like, look, there's so many things that are between. Again, shout out to Anthony Slater. I absolutely love having him at ESPN because I think, again, The Athletic has a ton of writers and sometimes his work gets caught up in all that, right? Him there at ESPN is absolutely spectacular. He's a brilliant writer, but also has his Warriors ties are deep and are crazy. So he's got good stuff in the piece that came out yesterday, then the piece that came out today by Amick. Number one, according to Amick, the Kings believe that Jonathan Kuminga wants to play for them. Like, he wants to be a Sacramento King now. So that's one thing that's not out there. The other thing that he put in there is that he believes, and there are other people that around this deal that believe that if the Kings pull the
protected 2030 first,
it's a protected 2030 first round pick. If they pull the protections and make an unprotected first round pick, that the Warriors would say, okay, and they'll make the deal.
Maybe.
Because
it depends on, that would be the Malik Monk trade.
Yeah.
But then that would depend on the Moody Healed situation.
Of course.
Which they would also have to figure out, which they may not want to figure out.
Yeah, the Warriors, I mean, first of all, they love their 3-point shooters. But if they have to get to a point where they're going to have to move off of a player, it's what makes it difficult. Like, do you really want to move off of Kuminga and Moody or
Mhm.
Kuminga and Heald
Mhm.
in order to make this deal work for him?
Mhm.
And the answer is probably not. But then again, if someone offers you a pick, which, if I'm not mistaken, is like 3 years after Kuminga's deal
Yeah, right.
would end,
Mhm.
like maybe he's still a Sacramento King, maybe he's not, but that's 3 years after or 2 years after that's when they would get their first round pick.
Mhm.
That's a little sketch, because you
Sure.
as a Kings, the Kings would have no idea what
So
exactly they're going to do there.
this is and this is the conundrum of Jonathan Kuminga from the Kings' perspective. Do they want him? Do they say, "Hey, that is a 22-year-old, soon to be 23-year-old
Mhm.
that we think his ceiling is crazy high. We're trying to build a new foundation and a new core. We believe that Jonathan Kuminga is the player to be part of that. He can play the 4. It moves Keegan Murray to the 3. Those two pieces are locked in for the foreseeable future. Love it." Or, because if that's the case, then unprotect the first.
Yeah.
Trust yourselves and call it good.
Mhm.
But if it's, well, we like him, but he's only attractive if it's a protected first and Devin Carter and oh my God, Sasha Vezenkov is the only name in my brain right now. Help
Dario
me.
Saric.
Dario Saric, thank you. Saric and Carter or Malik Monk, but we're not going to unprotect the first. We don't like him that much. Then a deal's not going to get done.
Well, no, I agree, and I'd add this too. Like Malik Monk in a first round pick is a really, really hefty price to give up for Jonathan Kuminga. Like as far as basketball players go, there is a
Sure.
ceiling thing here that we're talking about, but the floor
Yeah.
and the impact of Malik Monk on the court, what Malik Monk's impact is on the court. You can see it. You can go back to watch any of the games. You can look at the Kings' record with and without Malik Monk on the court to realize that he has a lot of value to you specifically. Kuminga, you have no idea. Like there's potential for him to be a 25 point per game scorer and like a multi-time all-star and maybe the centerpiece on what you're building. Well, he hasn't proven to be any of that yet, where Malik Monk has proven to be a specific type of player that can help you win basketball games.
I think the problem there is that Jonathan Kuminga is just a bigger version of what Malik Monk brings. Monk's a better passer, to be sure.
Yeah.
But not a great 3-point shooter consistently anyway. Can get to the hoop. Okay, you love that. I just don't think Malik Monk brings a lot of what Golden State wants or needs.
No, I get that. The Golden State might be questioning that, but I'm saying for the Kings, like the value that he brings for the Kings.
Yeah, got you. Yeah,
you're still giving up like a top 5 player in your rotation and a future first round pick for a guy that you're hoping could be a top 3 in your rotation type player, but you don't know. And on top of that, the money situation, especially with the Warriors raising their offer to Kuminga, it's very possible that he's saying the same thing. Well, like, look, Kings, if I'm coming to you, if you're going to make a move for me, you're going to have to come up with that 3 or 76 million or whatever it is that the Warriors at this point allegedly are willing to go.
Yeah.
But like, look, I think it's probably closer to this thing playing out that he stays in Golden State, even if it's for the year.
Yeah.
And I also appreciate that, like, both of these, like whether it's The Athletic or it's ESPN, they're stating like the point. Nobody really cares what Jonathan Kuminga wants. Like as far as the Warriors, they don't care what he wants.
Nope. And
this is something that I think will be dealt with down the road as far as like the Players Association and when they're going into the CBA, because I do think that there is something about like just openly, everyone in the league openly knows that the only reason they want to retain him on a 1-and-1, a 1+1, is because they want to trade him and they don't care about him as a player. Like they're not saying, oh, we don't care about you as a human and you're not going to get socks in your locker and stuff like that. They're just basically being like super transparent. And the transparency is kind of an issue for the NBA. It's kind of, if I'm a player and I'm the players union, I kind of have a problem with this.
Well, and they've tried to walk it back in the ESPN article. They tried saying, "Oh, well, they need his youth and his athleticism, and they have an idea in mind for his score." And the ESPN and Anthony Slater and Sean Ferrania point this out. that flies in the face. And it's what Jonathan Kuminga and his people are saying is like, he said 4 months ago that I can't play alongside their 3 guys who are going to play the most.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here?
Yeah, and Lakeup's not going to step in and tell Steve Kerr how to coach his team.
Right.
They have that on record. That's not going to happen.
Right.
So that means that Jonathan Kuminga is stuck in purgatory because of a loophole in the NBA CBA.
Yep.
And they, as a team, I'm telling you, they could completely destroy his value in one season.
I will say this. It's a loophole in the CBA for sure, but it's also a really weird situation where just one team had cap space.
Yeah.
But that one team that had cap space wasn't going to give up assets to acquire a player to fill their cap space. They were trying to do the opposite, where they were going to take on a first-round pick to take on Michael Porter Jr. So it's not only a loophole in the restricted free agency thing, it's also just, I think, a matter of the aprons. I think a matter of where the market stands. And it sounds like the Kings, the Warriors, and every other team, everybody's got eyes toward 2027.
Yeah.
So everybody's in this weird holding pattern where, hey, you know what? We're trying to keep our books clean in 27. So we're not going to take that risk on that player that, God, if he can't figure it, because I'm sure there are some teams, not all teams, but I'm sure there are some, whether it's 5 or 8 or 10 or 15, I have no idea, who go, hey, that guy couldn't make it work in Golden State. Well, then he's not going to work here. Then we want nothing to do with him.
There are tons of people out there who will tell you that they don't believe that Jonathan Kuminga is anywhere near as good as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Multiple people. And like we have something from Tim McMahon from ESPN on Kuminga. He says he's miserable. He doesn't want to be in Golden State. He knows they don't want him. He doesn't want to maximize his earnings. He wants to get in a situation where he feels like he can thrive.
Sure.
Yeah, whether you agree or disagree about his ability, his talent, he wants to go find out. I'm not going to say what. Yeah. He's messed around and he wants to find out.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, that's where this kind of, it's become an issue where a team doesn't want a player, but they want him as a trade chip. And that just feels like it's counter to what the rule was put in place. The rule was put in place so teams who go into, who draft a player have a higher likelihood of being able to retain their own player. They have a 4-year contract. They've got, it's a 2-year +1. They can opt out. They can pick up the player option or not in year 3 or in year 4. And then after that, you're a restricted free agent for 1 more year. So this just feels like
they got to do something.
Yeah, the league has got to look at this and go, oh, look, it's not like the breakup is imminent. Like you don't want to be together, but you're together because you guys bought a house together and you can't do anything else.
Right. I don't know why they don't structure rookie contracts the way the NFL does. It's 4 years with the team option for year 5 for first round picks. It's a 4-year deal. You can sign an extension after year 3 and you're a free agent after year 4. That seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah.
Like the restricted free agency thing is weird. And this is a strange enough situation that it might cause some movement on that front. Real quick, does Dennis Schroder winning Eurobasket MVP move you at all?
No, I'm glad for Dennis. I think he's played really, really well over in Europe. He's done this before. I think it actually, like we saw this before, it does bolster his case to be an international Hall of Famer, which is crazy, but like MVP, like this is something that he's been great internationally. It doesn't change anything in the NBA.
That's it. He was the 2023 FIBA World Cup MVP, 28 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, and an 83-77 win over Serbia in the final. And then he got back to the NBA and he was still Dennis Schroder.
Of course.
Like he's fine. I am unmoved on, like I said, really cool for him. Like love this for him. 16 points, 3 boards, 12 assists in a Eurobasket gold medal game, championship game.
Yeah, he turned 32 yesterday. Man. He's a 32-year-old point guard, has played for what is he on his 11th team?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah,
like
no,
he's a good NBA player.
Yes. I feel exactly the same about him today as I did a week ago.
Yeah, and I saw some weirdness where people were comparing him to Dennis Schroder. I mean, to Sasha Vezenkov and stuff. Like, look,
Not even close.
like Dennis Schroder has been an NBA player, a very solid NBA player for over a decade.
For a long time.
Yeah, like he's not an all-star. He's not going to be an all-star or an MVP.
Yeah.
That's not something that's going to happen. But what he is he's very solid.
Yep.
And that's exactly what the Kings were looking for this offseason. Like, I think you should have looked for someone who can shoot the 3-ball better. I think there are things that you could have looked for that were different. But if this is a range of point guard you were staying in, okay.
Yep, for sure.